Hey guys, what's going on? Kings Olympia here. I'm John and I'm taking a solo video to give you an in-depth explanation about shoulders and just shoulders. Behind the camera is Egan right now being my human tripod.
What's up, guys?
There he is. Okay, so the first thing I want to go off based off of is my shoulder story. My shoulder story starts off when I was kind of in elementary school and I had this cool thing that I could do where I could kind of like twist my shoulder out of socket and like stick my finger. And I'm like, look, I can stick my finger inside of my shoulder. That's bad. If you can do that, don't do that. That is, it's kind of been a trigger point. Like I realized it's part of the problem with my shoulders, and I would equate shoulder problems to my sleeping habits. Like, you know, I've always had naturally broad shoulders, especially now much more so with the bodybuilding. But like I lie on my side, right, and that's because that's how I sleep most comfortably. But my head is like that, so my shoulder ends up getting really compressed so that I can get comfortable, and I might lay on it like this. And I thought that was one of my problems with my shoulders, because I would feel pain inside my shoulders, sometimes around my shoulders, and that has been a hindrance inside of the gym. So my different injuries, like I said, I thought was just from the sleeping, which could just be the shoulder compression, and the things that I attribute my problems to now are more along the lines of like tendinitis, improper bench press form that I used in my earlier days, managing too heavy of weight when I should not have been, and weak rotator cuffs. And this can be demonstrating with the weakness in my rotator cuffs. If I just lift my arm up, it sticks out. If I'm more conscious about it, I can keep it in to more of an extent. And I think that's from a lack of muscle strength, which I've been working on a lot more recently. And I've also have experienced a pinched nerve inside of this shoulder after bench pressing and whatnot, and things like inflammation, which can be a result of the tendinitis, which can be predominantly from one of the bicep tendons, because it inserts or it connects way up in here, and that can get inflamed, and it can feel like everything's really crowded, and it can cause pain inside of your shoulder. Some of that can also be labrum related, which is the cartilage inside of your shoulder. And I really hope it's not a cartilage problem, because as some of you already know, I tore my meniscus, which is the cartilage in my knee, and I'm hoping that it's not problematic with my shoulders. And for the most part, I've outruled that after having a greater knowledge of shoulders in general. The things that I've implemented to increase or to detour myself away from these shoulder problems have been, in the earlier days, it would have been using proper bench press form, and just recently both Egan and I have started implementing powerlifting bench press form, which in my opinion is a lot closer to what proper bench press form should be, because you have the bodybuilder bench press form where you're going out more like this, and that allows for more of a pull on the pectoralis major. But in powerlifting, your elbows are more down like this, your back is arched, and in my opinion, depending on where your grip is, you're able to get a lot more of a stretch on the pectoralis major. So off video tip, powerlift form, do that. And one of the things that the proper bench press form has helped with the shoulder problems I had was the whole fact that it was strengthening up my shoulders, but I also wasn't having my shoulders on the bench press flat, overextending them, going down, and going in that movement, which was just moving my rotator cuff and the joint a lot more excessively than it should have been. So the proper form has helped in that regard. Though after going over the proper form, I still have these shoulder problems, and this is when I attributed the problem partially to the other things that I mentioned just earlier: the pinched nerve, the tendinitis, the inflammation, and potential problems with the cartilage. And like I said, outruled the cartilage, but I think it's more related to the tendinitis and some nerve problem, because I'll just be lying in bed and my shoulders will be hanging down, and I'll have this like pain like right in here. It's on both sides, predominantly on my right. And some of the things now that I'm going into to help reduce the shoulder problems entirely is I'm rolling them out, a lacrosse ball, and I'll put it up against the wall, and I'll just roll it out like this. I don't have one on me, but so I put it there, turn it here, and I just roll up, and I find out where all the knots are, work those out, which is just the scar tissue, which has helped for sure. And another few things that I've done is I'll grab lightweight dumbbells or just a small weight plate, and I'll hold the weight like this, and I'll just work on rotating my shoulder like this, because that helps with the muscles in your shoulders that are actually responsible for the internal and external rotation, which is the rotator cuff. There are 4 muscles there. It's like 1 here, 2 here, 1 under here, and I think there might be another one up top. So that just helps with all of this kind of movement, right? So that if you're able to move your arms back and forth like this, go further down, and even like this crazy movement where you push your arm up like that. So help strengthening the rotator cuff will help eventually eliminate some of the shoulder problems that I have, which is something I'm working on, which I have had success for sure. And the results of all these things, my long shoulder journey that I'm trying to sum up in as however how long it's been, have been positive. I have a stronger bench press now that I used to, something that feels a lot better. It's not so aggravating to my shoulders. I'm able to push more weight a lot more comfortably and safely, and I'm preserving the life and the longevity of my shoulders. And as far as what the results really are like and what problems I've actually had, I may never know unless I get them checked out. But as always, I will keep you guys posted on all things shoulder related. And if you like this video, like, share it, subscribe, leave a comment, give us your thoughts, and anything else really. Kings Olympia out.